Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. It's actually the unofficial start to my weekend because I took today off, and we all know what the weekends mean for me. I put stuff in my coffee, and I go with an unfinished basement. No underwear today. Makes it feel special, like I don't have anywhere to be. So I thought, in the interest of Mental Health Awareness Month, and is it news to anybody that I have some mental health concerns? I might have done a video or two or a dozen about different aspects of that. I thought I would take you through an example of what might be a good day and what might be a bad day, rough day, challenging day um, that I experience as a person who has bipolar disorder. So, Mark just left for work. So, you got just me today. And I've already smoked. My breakfast of champions has been coffee and cigarettes, of course. I know. We all do. So, today so far has been a good day, but I think I'll tell you about it as more of like a weekday because most days are weekdays and on weekdays I work. So, let's say a good morning. My alarm goes off around 8:15. Sometimes I'll get up a little bit early, around 8. Truth be told, I start waking up around 6, actually, when the sun comes up, and then I'll toss and turn. Good morning. I fall asleep for 15 minutes and it feels like I slept an hour between 6 and 6:15. And then every 15 minutes that I wake up after that, feel rested. Get up, I've set the coffee the night before, get my cup, use the restroom, get dressed, watch the news, usually HLN, with Robin Mead, because that's what Mark likes, so I leave it on. And get my stuff together, pour my coffee here, down a couple meds. I only have a couple things I take that aren't at night. I take something in the morning and something in the early afternoon. Walk to work, got my headphones on. For some reason, when it sounds like the music is going like a little bit faster, I kind of know that means it's going to be a good day. And I'm like in my head dancing to the choreography of whatever the song is. I almost always listen to Lady Gaga and something kind of techno-y on my way to work to pump myself up. And get to work. Ideally, there's no voicemails. I'm able to say hi to people. I'm still not a morning person, but I get there quick. And I have no issues about being at work when I get there. I'm not necessarily excited to be there, even though I do like my job. And I have an easy set of like, what am I going to do today? Now, my desk looks like the guy's office from A Beautiful Mind, where there's stuff everywhere, but I know where everything is. And on a good morning, I can prioritize real easy. Check my messages, check my email, return anything call-wise or email-wise that has to be done right away. And I can easily see priorities, what needs to be done in order. Get through the morning, another cup of coffee. I leave to go to lunch like 10 minutes early because there's a hospital catty corner to my office, and I go to the cafeteria. So it's an excuse to get like a cigarette in early because I don't have any smoke breaks during the day except lunch. So I work 9 to noon. I can have a few cigarettes on lunch, and then from 12:30 to 4:30, there's no breaks. So I just have to roll through. So I get my soda, I have a chit chat with the boss, we BS about anything light, go back in the afternoon, I take a med around 1:30 or so, and we have little sidebars and BS with each other, like office things do. We play thermostat wars, and I don't really have to do too much maintenance to keep myself in a good spot, productive, chatty, social, that type of stuff. And then get home. Usually I'm coming home alone. Well, half the week I'm coming home alone. Other times Mark's here. If Mark's here, which is probably 3 days out of the week, so I'll go with that. It's the hug hello, catch up on our day, chit chat. I ask how his day was. We make plans for the evening. He'll ask if I want to go do what he's doing or if I don't. And sometimes I'll say, yeah, let's go to the grocery store. Walmart once in a purple moon, I will say I want to go to. But more likely not. And I'll just hang around and unwind. And sometimes when he goes and I stay home, that's a good day bit of recharging. I'm actually an introvert. I recharge when I'm alone. All day I'm around people, and it's nice to have a little space to myself mentally. We go through the evening, get to bed a little bit early sometimes. I take all my meds usually right before bed because some of them cause drowsiness, And since I don't really take anything for sleep, I take melatonin, but I don't take anything prescription for sleep. Anything that'll make me drowsy, down it, watch a little show with Mark, have a healthy dinner, whether healthy means I'm trying to lose weight and it's in my calorie range, or it's just healthy food choices, more whole foods and things like that, and a little bit of a sweet, but not overboard. Eat it, go to bed, and I fall asleep right away. Boom. There's a good day. Now, let's say there's a bad day. The alarm goes off at 8:15, but I've been up since 3, tossing and turning and tossing and turning and having racing thoughts. And the thoughts are out of my control. They just kind of come and go, and I'll obsess about the silliest things. For an example, I knew the landlord was coming around 10. This was on a weekend. This Sunday, I started obsessing about it and being paranoid about it the afternoon before. Our landlord's nice. He never gives us an issue. We don't give him an issue, but I was terrified of him coming. So Ed, back to a work day. Get up, throw my legs off the side of the bed, and stare at the floor. And contemplate, how am I going to get through today? So that takes 5 minutes. Then I grab my clothes and I get out of the bedroom because Mark's still asleep, and I change in the living room. I go to use the restroom. Again, I'm just kind of contemplating life, and I start to think, how bad do I really need a job anyway? Maybe I should just take a bus to a big city and become a gypsy. Run with homeless people, hop a train. I'll take Mark with me. I'd have to convince him, probably. And we'll just get the hell out of this life. We're just killing time anyway. So I'm starting to talk myself out of employment. So the negative thoughts start early. And get my stuff together. The hardest part is getting dressed. Getting out of what I slept in and putting on my work clothes. It's monumental to do it. It takes such a pep talk. Now, on a good day where this positive self-talk is going, on a bad day, it's more like I'm beating myself like a red-headed stepchild. It's like, get your shit together. Don't be such a baby. Normal people don't have to go through a rigmarole just to get their clothes on. So, yeah, I get dressed. The shoes were terrible. I even put a picture on Instagram a few days ago. I had one shoe on, and I had to sit there for 10 minutes to convince myself to put the other one on. So I get all my stuff together. Invariably, on a morning like that, I forget something, leave the house, and have to come back. Keys, wallet, something like that. The music plays slower on rough mornings. It just does. I put my headphones in, and Bad Romance is playing so slow, it sounds like it's the acoustic version. So, that's meh. And I get to work, and all I want to do is, avoid everyone, run to my desk, and sit there. And I start to look at what's on my desk. I can't make heads or tails of it at all. Even though yesterday it all made perfect sense. Now, I don't know what to do. I'm so overwhelmed, I don't do much. So, I put my head in my hands and stare for 20 minutes, and then contemplate, I should have called out, I should have stayed home, I'm not going to get anything done. Everyone can tell that I'm not doing well, I think. Paranoia, here we go. And I try to get some work done, but I can't prioritize anything. I start to get nervous about basic tasks at work that I'm going to screw them up. And so I don't want to, return phone calls. Well, I end up doing all my work, but it's so much more of a chore. It feels like a long day at 10:30, and I've only been there an hour and a half. And I'm honestly thinking about taking my afternoon med, which has a little bit of a sedating effect. And because I'm a good old addict, and because I'm not feeling well, I'm thinking maybe I could take one now, and then take another one at 1:30, and then take one at 4:30. I'm only supposed to take 2, but what's another that? I know people on much more than what I'm taking. So unhealthy thoughts, like ignoring my doctor's orders and just taking what I think, they all start to creep in. You get to lunch, and I'm thinking, ugh, I just disappear on my lunch break. This running away theme becomes very popular on those days. Most days I don't talk to Mark, but I'll call Mark on a bad afternoon, and just talking to him for a few minutes makes me feel better. And I may chat with my boss and tell her if I'm having some symptoms, because I work in a pretty decent workplace where it's not news to anyone for a number of reasons that I have some mental health concerns. So depending on the day, one of my supervisors or a coworker may or may not be free to talk. And usually by 2:30 in the afternoon, I am all but biting my fingers off because they smell like nicotine and I need a cigarette so bad I would punch somebody in the throat for it. get out of work, come home to an empty house, and it bothers me on bad days. And Bandit's here, but he's ignoring me. So once again, I go with the cat hates me unless I'm feeding him. And the recurring theme as you're getting is just negative thoughts. I'm bad at my job. I don't think the cat likes me. Mark's tolerating me. And then it starts to go, I mean, I can go back to being 5 years old and deciding that I was a mistake. Like, you know what I mean? Like, none of that's true, but all that distorted thinking piles on days like that. So I'll try to make dinner. And as I'm making dinner, I'm picking at the food that I'm making. So even if I'm trying to be on my intermittent fasting 1,500 calorie gig, it's blown because I'm eating now. Plus, I'm overeating on my calorie limit. So then I get a case of the buckets. And I'm like, well, as long as I'm overeating. And next thing I know, I'm shoveling ice cream in my mouth with a fork because I couldn't take the time to even go get a spoon because I needed it now. Now. I'm like reaching for anything that'll start to make me feel better. You know, give me food, give me a nap, give me anything that'll get me out of my head at that moment. So I eat, feel guilty, sit in my chair, I'm usually a little tired afterwards, doze off, wake up. I always feel worse after naps. I always want a cup of coffee, but it's 9 o'clock at night. Also on bad days, I will slam an entire pot of coffee between like 8 o'clock and 1, and then have a couple K-cups after that. So, not today, Satan. We're going light. This is cup number 2, and that'll be it. And then as the night wears on, Mark will get home, and we'll talk a little bit more. And he's good at talking me down, usually. And if I'm in a bad mood where I don't want to talk, he'll not force it. He'll just kind of poke. But me being off makes more work for him. And if he's just getting home from work, you know, that's a tough spot because I care about how his day was. Well, on a bad day, let me put it like this. I have to pretend to be well, so I have to kind of go through the motions of work and other stuff as though I'm not sick. Mark's probably the only person I can just fall apart in front of, or my family. But I don't see them as often, obviously. And I can just let it go. Let it all hang out and be like, I'm not fine. I haven't been fine for a week. I haven't been fine since high school. You know, whatever however dramatically I'm explaining it that day. And then I have some relief. But it's double duty trying to pretend to be okay and having to go through my daily activities too. So the bad day often winds up because I've cheated on my intermittent fasting with something that looks not like a binge, but a very indulgent sort of large meal where I might have had, you know, on a sort of cheat thing, like a small slice of pizza and a couple pieces of fruit and a side of stir-fried veggies and some white meat chicken. All of a sudden it turns into whole chicken breast, 2 pieces of pizza, melt some cheese on the veggies, skip the fruit, and then have a double dessert. So I make these little bargains with myself that doing these unhealthy things is healthy because it's making me feel better, but they're not good behaviors, even though they're making me feel better. And I'll feel worse the next day. I'm setting myself up for another bad day by making bad choices on the bad day before. So they kind of roll into the next. So then I have to do positive things for myself on a bad day when it feels like a chore, and all that feels like it's so Mickey Mouse. You know, if I'm contemplating the mysteries of the world, staring at one sock because I'm too afraid to put my shoe on, it's hard to say, let me make a gratitude list of all the things that I had to get up for today. I know. When I'm sick, I can't see past my nose, so I become a very ungrateful little bitch. And it takes me a while to snap out of that. Probably the most important thing for all of it. Meds are important for my mental health, but it's probably half, if not less than half, of what I need to do. Talking to people, regular sleep schedule, good diet, eating enough food, really, for me. But not eating too much. That's always been a balance for me. It's still a work in progress. Having enough downtime, because again, I need to recharge. Pacing myself into the evening. I need to stop doing most activities by like 8 or 9. And then start winding the lights down. And then no phone in use in the bedroom like an hour before sleep. Stuff like that. So doing that stuff on a bad day is really banking it to hopefully make tomorrow a better one. And most of the time that works. It doesn't always work. And that's discouraging when it doesn't. But I can only work with what I wake up with. So that's frustrating to not know what I'm going to wake up to, because I cycle sometimes pretty quick, usually around med changes. So that's the bad day, and that's the good day. And like everybody, I'm no unicorn, and just because I have a mental health concern doesn't mean my life is harder, easier. I'm a martyr, a hero, a derelict, a saint, like nothing. I'm just, everyone has problems, everyone has challenges in their life. This one happens to be mine. And other people have probably similar challenges, or they're in different areas of their life, you know. So, you know, I'm nobody special. Not that I have, you know, degrading myself or saying that I'm nobody. I'm just saying people live well with mental illness all the time, just like they live well with other life challenges. So that's all for this morning. I am going to finish my coffee, and then I have to go upload this, and I got to do my hustle where I go to another building where they have wireless and use theirs because mine's slow. And then I'm going to make the bed, do the dishes, do all that stuff. Feels like a good day so far. So I'm going to ride with that and try to get some stuff done. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. You can follow Mark and I on Instagram at Smokey Steve and Mark. Or find us on Facebook at Smokey Steve, space, and Mark. Make sure you get the alerts so you know when a new video is coming up. And I will catch up with y'all soon. Have a happy and sane Friday. Bye.